the social media era, just the pressure for women in general to look a certain way.
The mental aspect of that is just so hard.
I was quite fearful. If I could go back to me then, I'd be like, here, stop.
How does it feel to be the black sheep in a scenario where your goals don't align with the masses?
Dare I say, is harder than any Ironman or marathon.
And I still had some doubts, like, am I able to do this?
I just thought, don't be afraid of this. Get out of your comfort zone. Just go for it.
I remember when I was in the middle of it, I was like, I wish I always did this.
Okay, I'm not turning back now. I've given this too much. I'm not giving up.
It wasn't about the destination, it was about the actual journey. Like, I am not giving up on myself.
Because you are literally a walking definition of someone who says, fuck you, I'm gonna do this, and I have done this, and I have arrived. Oh, the countdown was daunting there. Firstly, ladies, I just want to say thank you very much. What we're going to do today is we're going to talk about the journey of your 2 photo shoots, but from a coach, as a friend, and as someone who you've both inspired. I just want to start off by saying, as a coach, you are only as good as the clients. As a teacher yourself, you know the kids will bring the best out of you. And as a public speaker yourself, you know the crowd will always bring the best out of you. And you have very much brought the very best out of me as a coach, and the journey we both go on, and I will continue to go on. I just want to say from the bottom of my heart, thank you very much. And I want to start off by saying that the name of my product is the Visionary Project, which if I go to Google and I give you a definition of what visionary actually means, it is a person thinking about or planning the future with imagination or wisdom. And I think it is named very appropriately for your 2 journeys. But I want to start off and I want to go back to Aideen and say, who are you and what do you do?
Okay, so Aideen is my name, and I'm a proud Connemara girl. I'm from the small little Gaeltacht village of Unchararua, and I live and teach in Galway. And I love the gym and I love working out with yourself.
And Ciara, same question to yourself. Who are you? And tell us just a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, my name is Ciara. I am a mum of 2 children and also surprisingly a grandmother. I work as a hairdresser. I love the gym, and most definitely a lot more now in the recent, let's say last year. Yeah.
So before you started with me, Aideen, I want you to just give me a little bit of an image of what your training looked like up until the point where me and you started working together.
So my background in sport starts really with basketball. I played basketball all through college. And then from there was no National League girls basketball team in Galway when I started working. So I fell into marathon running. And I loved that challenge, and I loved the buzz that I got from the feeling of coming over the finish line. And also then after that, I decided to challenge myself with an Ironman, and loved that as well. And then just was looking for that extra challenge. And I always looked at the gym and thought, gosh, like I'd love to achieve that look that people have who really put in the effort and put in the hard work, that I just wasn't getting from marathon running and the Ironmans and stuff. And so that led me to working out in the gym. And then I knew I needed help with that. And then yourself came along and I started working with you.
And what's one of the biggest differences between finishing an Ironman and finishing a photo shoot prep? Very different aspects of fitness. So you've been there, done that, got the t-shirt on both sides of the fence, from a cardiovascular journey and a resistance-based journey. But in your words, what do you think is the main differences? What are the pros and cons, and what do you think is the harder parts of each individual journey?
Both of those were extremely challenging, I have to say. Um, I did have my sister train with me for the Dublin Ironman, so that was wonderful. My sister Fanula. And then with the gym and that journey in the gym, like it's the mental aspect of that is just so hard. People really don't realise, and I certainly didn't either, how much work you have to put into that. That, dare I say, is harder than any Ironman or marathon. And I had to just allow myself to trust you, because it was something I didn't know about myself. Also the support from Kira and other girls and guys within the gym that were and had been on the same journey before was fantastic, but without my trust and relationship that I have with you, I don't think I would have been able to go there. I would have. I'm not so sure. Like, you really need to support, like, to trust your coach, really, when it's something I didn't know about myself.
It's beautiful. And then Kira, just before working out with me, tell me a little bit about your journey up until the point where me and you started working out together.
So I had been training on my own, Chris, and I had found myself in a place that when I was looking at my body in the mirror, I wasn't happy. I hadn't really been tracking. I didn't have the apps on the phone that we have now, and I was actually quite scared of it because I'd no clue about it, like, and I knew about yourself in the gym, and I'd seen all your posts, and you are quite knowledgeable, like, and started up with yourself, and you were very patient, like, very patient, and because I remember the first call we had. Do you remember that?
Yeah,
I was nearly going to give up. I was like, I can't use these. I can't track. I can't do this and that. In a week, I had it. So, like, having that patience and tolerance and, getting your guidance, like, was just so good because it's just second nature today. Like, and, during the first phase, like, as Aideen said, like, it was more like, am I able to do this, And because the evidence was there, you would tell me, what to train, how many days a week to train, and I was doing that, and I still had some doubts, like, am I going to be ready for this photo shoot, like, and over time the results came, like, my body started to get more lean. I started to get more confident, and other people, like, even like Aideen as well. I'd seen she was doing a photo shoot as well, like, so we were in it together, weren't we?
Yeah.
It was only a couple of weeks out, and the confidence that I got, and knowledge, helped me for on a day-to-day basis with food, what I'm actually putting into my body, drinking enough water, and I'm also, like, a busy mom, like, as well, and as Aideen said as well, like, you really need to put your all into it, and it is really hard, but it is most definitely possible. Before I'd started with you, I wouldn't have seen that as a possibility.
And that's actually leads me on to my next question, because I know the answer of the day the decision was made to go for a photo shoot. And I know, Kira, as yours came from the get-go. And I know, Aideen, I'm actually curious about you, Aideen. At what point of the journey, because we had done a Kickstarter phase and then you had climbed Kilimanjaro, and somewhere between coming back down the mountain and getting back into the weights room, we've had a conversation of, we're going to do a photo shoot. And can you tell me in your own words, what was the day where the penny dropped and you said, I'm going to do this?
Very good question. Well, as a person, I suppose I do like to challenge myself, and I just thought, don't be afraid of this. Get out of your comfort zone. Just go for it. And I really felt it was going to be something that would benefit me hugely, like in so many other ways that all those other things didn't. But to get me out of my comfort zone, because that just uplifts you, that keeps you young, that keeps your mind fresh. And it's something that I preach to students every day. And I just said, back yourself, just do this. And I had you there telling me it was something that was possible for me. And like Ciara said, you know, you were giving me the results, you were giving me the belief, and I had to go and back that myself. And I said, go for it. Like, you have one shot at life. And I didn't want to be afraid. I didn't want to give in to the fear. And I just said, go for it.
And even sticking with yourself for a minute, we had to do a building phase and then a cutting phase. And I know I work with a good few females, and when the scale begins to rise, I don't know any woman who looks at me with a smile. So when I told you, coming from a marathon background, and you said you wanted to do a photo shoot, and I said you would look in front, you are already lean enough. It doesn't make sense to stand in front of a camera unless we've built and sculpted some lean tissue. Talk to me about the mindset of that scale rising, those calories rising, and tell me a little bit about what was going inside your head about the whole process of a building phase specifically for a woman.
Yeah. So, like, every woman is different, right? And for some women, they would just, that would wash off them. But for me, yes, certainly. Like, we speak about the emotional attachment we place on the scales. And I just had to put my full faith in you. And did I have meltdowns? Yes, I did. And thank you for putting up with them. But again, like, I could see that I was getting stronger and my confidence was building up week after week. And like, the results were there, the measurements were there, everything was there. Like, and I just had faith in what the journey was. And that was it, really. Like, I maybe started blindly, but I knew when I was in the middle of it, okay, I'm not turning back now. I've given this too much and I'm not giving up. And just kept the faith and kept the belief, and the belief in myself, but the belief, you know, in the journey as well.
And Ciara, you started from a very different perspective. You joined me and you knew straight away. You were like, I'm doing this. And when we had a conversation that time, the initial conversation, I had talked to you a lot about the nutritional aspect of a journey like this. And a lot of emphasis and priority goes into nutrition. And we were starting from scratch. So tell me a little bit about our nutritional approach of flexible dieting, having a primary target goal, having a primary protein goal, and being able to then learn and adapt and go into a supermarket, look at the back of packets, understand that, oh, I can have this if as long as it fits within this 20% region of your target goal. How was it like for yourself learning to track calories and then apply it to your day-to-day?
So at the start, I remember I was quite fearful because I didn't have any knowledge of it. So even with the protein, I never checked. Like, I never checked my my protein, how much I was getting in on a daily basis. Even down to, like, you know, certain breads and pastas, and but it took me a couple of weeks. Do you know, it took me a couple of weeks, but as soon as I got into it, I found that it was becoming a part of my daily life, like, you know. I used to kind of even get takeaways here and there. That stopped. Like, and even today, now I'll have a treat here and there, but even today, it's not my go-to. I'm way more organized. I can prep. You know, whereas before there was none of that. Like, you know, there was none of that at all.
And I know at the start we had talked about food plans and how easy it would be for me to give you a script.
Yeah.
And you follow the script. But everything I do is underlined with education. There's no point in what we do together lasting for 16 weeks. You stand in front of the camera and then you revert back to old habits and old ways. My objective here is to give you the results you're paying for, but ultimately allow you to understand the mindset of how we actually got there. And I said to you, if I give you a food plan, you get results. And if I take that food plan away, you haven't a clue how you got the results in the first place. So have you continued on with the same metrics of approach to your nutrition?
I have. I remember I asked you for that food plan. Yeah, because I was still so
I think
oblivious.
I did as well, actually. Yeah.
Like
Yeah, you did actually.
Yeah.
No, I'm not. I like if you had a wedding and we
Yeah.
had a very definitive time. Okay. But when we're here to invest not only in the body but the mindset.
Yeah.
But you were saying, Kira, sorry.
Yeah, so I remember asking you for the food plan, and you did explain that all to me, but it still felt really daunting. Like, so I also had to go, which is good, right? I also had to go and educate myself on foods and look at the back of the packaging while I was in Dunn's, and then also look up certain, you know, meals and for meal prepping. And I remember when I was in the middle of it, I was like, I wish I always did this. Do you know, it was like, why didn't I always do this? Like, you know, so like, you know, logging the food and you've been able to look at it like where I might be low in protein some days, right? You need to up it, you know, get protein powder, or there was that for the first while. But as of late, I'm able to get it in with my food more. You know, it's like second nature now. It's not, even in a restaurant, I'd be sitting and I'd be like, right, I need to look and see on the menu where is the protein here. Instead of getting the chips, I might cut it out for sweet potato fries, or, you know. So I do feel definitely educated today.
And then a lot of what we did in the gym with ourselves, Kira, was very much data driven in regards to the workout aspect of things. So being able to, rather than going into the gym and lifting on what we feel like lifting and allowing our emotions to dictate whether we have a good workout or a bad workout, being able to revert back to your previous workout. What was your last PB? What was your last rep range?
Yeah.
What was the exercises you've done? We're not just like looking around like, oh, this exercise is free.
Yeah.
What was it like adapting to a very structured, data-driven program, unlike, again, just coming into the gym and having a bit of a crack?
Yeah, because I was like a year going in there and I would be just like, oh, I'll do this machine or I'll do that. Or again, not really knowing what kind of, where I was targeting. And starting your program, and you know, you give me the workouts and training with you once a week, and you educating me on where I'm actually targeting and why I'm doing this certain workout, or why I'm you know, doing leg day here and upper and maybe full body. Like, you were able to educate me on all that. Like, yeah.
And then, Aideen, I want to fast forward into the shoot itself, or the week prior. Peak week.
Tough week.
Tough week.
Yeah.
Now, that was a week of multiple variables that were very much new. The tan, the makeup, a full this, the outfits. And I want you to give me a mindset review. If you can revert back to what the mindset was like going into peak week, and then the fake tans and every other variable that I've thrown at you in regards to something that might be outside of your comfort zone. What was the mindset going into peak week?
Peak week, I was glad that week was there, like that it had come, that it had arrived, that now all the work was done. The fake tan, I'm not a fake tan girl, but that particular week was the hottest week of July ever, and so there was fake tan everywhere, but I knew it was part of the process, and I was happy to go with it. again, like the wonderful support of Kira, who had actually had her photo shoot before my photo shoot. So I was able to call on Kira and get her advice and her support, and talk about the fake tan and talk about the outfits. And you shared some of your outfits with me, and it was lovely to get ideas. And so, and I knew it wasn't going to be your forte, Chris, and you were leaving it up to me. But no, like I was very happy with that when the time came. And again, just fully knew I was in good hands with you and with all of that. And I trusted you, and that's what it's all about.
And then same question for you, Kira. You two women come from very beautiful separate backgrounds, and I think that's what makes this conversation so powerful. If there was two Kiras or two Aideen's in the couch before me, it would be a very two-dimensional conversation. I think that's what the two you really do bring to the table. Now the fake tan is something that would be something a little bit more up your alley. Right? You'd be a little bit more in the beauty.
She wears it well.
I do my tan once a week, so.
And it looks gorgeous, by the way. But talk to me. Peak week for you. We had drove up to Dawn's studio together.
Yeah.
Just to give you a little bit of a sit back for an hour so we can have a chat about it. I think the most common question you asked was, Chris, am I ready? Am I enough? Am I enough? But I want you to tell me.
I remember, and if I could go back to me then, I'd be like, Kira, stop. Like, I was quite insecure, I was quite anxious, and I was asking all them questions. Am I enough? But I knew I could ask you, because you would tell me the truth anyway. You would not bring me to a photo shoot not ready.
Well, even to take a back step.
Yeah.
I kicked you off the first photo shoot. We were going to do it.
Oh, stop. That's
early.
A mad idea. That's one of my mad ideas, yeah.
She said, explain it to me. What happened there?
So I was like, you know what? I'm going to book this photo shoot for 7 weeks. He's like, Kira, what are you at? I was like, why? So there you go, like, you know. So how many weeks did we do? We did...
Pushing 20, just under 20.
Yeah, just under 20, yeah.
And like 4 of those were learning calories.
Yeah, and even my own body with regards to, like, I had to do a lot of cardio as well to you know, I suppose get the measurements down. I'm not going to say the scales because, you know, building muscle and that. But yeah, I remember that week and going into the gym and just looking at myself, and I was grateful and I was proud of myself. But there was that other part, just like, have you done enough? Have you done enough? And I remember I was in work and I texted you. I was like, Chris, I just need to just let this out. Like, I feel that maybe have I done enough? Do I need to do more? Well, I got this most beautiful message back, and you talked about that 1%. Yeah. And then I knew. I was like, I'm ready. I'm ready, like, yeah.
And it's tough for a coach to tell a client no. Like, for you to then come to me excited, I want to book a shoot, I have a date picked, and I have to be straight with you. And at the end of the day, I wasn't going to allow you, or I couldn't allow you to go in front of the camera without giving you at least an opportunity to present your best self.
Yeah.
So I'm very delighted that you took my advice on that. And then I want you to talk to me about shoot day, from the car up until the point, because the start of the day and from the second, the third or fourth shot went off, there was 2 different Kiras.
Yeah, I know.
So what was the mindset and what was the feelings and emotions behind the total shoot day from my house all the way up to the Dawn studio?
I felt very lightheaded. No, I remember, because I was anxious, and I knew, and I'd heard so much about Dom, and I'd seen all his work, and I knew I was in brilliant hands, like, you know, and we had communicated before that too. So I knew that, you know, when I got here, I would have been directed and it would have been great. But again, it was that, have I done enough, like, you know? And I feel when I arrived in here first, it took me a while to get into it. And then I started to feel comfortable. And then I was like seeing the shots that he had done. And I was like, okay, I look really well. There was 2 Kiras that walked in. There was the Kira that initially walked in, baby oil up all over the place. And then snap 1, shook, snap 2, shook, show me them done. And all of a sudden you're like, I have arrived. Something changed. Obviously, it was when I seen the photos. Like, and I believe as well, being a parent, like, my daughter's 18, coming into this, like, and me coming down doing a photo shoot, and It's just like, it was nearly like, I suppose, a confidence thing. It was a confidence thing. And you assured me, like, you assured me that I had gotten into my best shape because I did everything by the book. I did not miss a beat.
That 1%.
Yeah, I did not miss a session. I did not miss with my food. I remember at home, my daughter was laughing at me. Like, she was like, "Mom, you're becoming obsessed." I'm like, "I'm not. Just has to be perfect."
And as different as you two ladies are, that is the most important thing that the two of you share. And as I stated at the start, you brought the best out of me. Ciara, 80, none of you missed every day. Now, I look for consistency, not perfection, right? There's no such thing as perfection on a journey like this. We are humans of emotions, good days, bad days. We have kids, we have classrooms, we have personal life. So consistency is what I look for, and consistency is exactly what you two delivered. And it's very interesting to see the difference when the two of you share that singular trait. And it just goes to show that level of discipline can be found in anyone. Doesn't matter from your backgrounds or your personality types. The fact that you two share such a high level of discipline, almost to the point where now I'm like, oh, Chris, I can't miss a session. Every time your diary's fully filled out. Aideen as well, like still not missing. But I don't want to skip over your day on the shoot because we met outside Elevate Gym early morning, and you hopped out of the car, fake tan. First time I'd seen you in fake tan or even makeup for that matter. So it was a very different Aideen that was presented to me on that early Sunday morning. I want you to talk to me about the feeling of going into the gym and getting ready for your photo shoot of someone who hasn't spent an awful lot of time in front of a camera.
Yeah, like listening to Ciara there, I remembered maybe a week prior to the photo shoot week, you and I actually had kind of a recce of that type of scene. And for me, and I don't mind saying it here, like getting my my gym top off and just being down to your sports bra and your shorts, like that was step number one. And when I got over that, like I was like, okay, right, that's that done. And then on the morning of the shoot, like unbelievable when I met Dawn and Beck, like they just put me at my ease straight away. And I think I remember saying to Dawn, look, Dawn, like I'm actually quite nervous here. And when I was so honest, I suppose, in how I felt, and his immediate reaction was like, you'll be fine. And I absolutely was. I was so comfortable with Dawn and yourself, Chris, as well. But as Ciara said, like when you look at the pictures, when Dawn was showing me the pictures, then I was like, oh my God, yeah, that's me. I couldn't get over it. And it was a journey of confidence building as well.
Yeah.
And everybody, like, I suppose, struggle with self-confidence and self-esteem, and just you're not the only one. And like keep the faith, keep backing yourself, I suppose, is another huge thing I learned out of this. And I think it was Diane Keating that just said this week, like, don't give up on yourself, just keep showing up, keep trying your best. And yeah, so that was that morning, that journey. And then I had to dash off to work. And I remember being on the train afterwards thinking, oh my God, what happened just there? And just being so proud and so happy.
Love it. Love the answer. And credit to Dawn as well. I've worked with many photographers and videographers in the past with my clothing company and even my own other clients. And they all share a level of professionalism. But the one thing that stood out with Dawn that I can't do as a coach is I can't stand behind the lens. And he either asks you what you want or tells you what you want. And with yourself, it was like, again, there's certain curvatures, and he'd take the picture and no, that's not good enough. And he'd show you and he'd say, can we tweak this?
Yeah.
And you then could see from behind the lens, oh yeah, okay, I know what you mean. And it's like the guidance from someone in your position who hasn't been in front of a camera that often. I think, like, you know, speaking from just a viewer, I would definitely love the fact that I do in fact appreciate from a coaching standpoint, like how much, because I'm standing back as a coach, like I hope she's okay.
Yeah. Oh no, like it really just that whole thing of the camera and the lights and how the camera works, like to be brought into that and to see how that all works was like amazing as well. And thank you, Don, so much for that. It was unbelievable. And your direction and your like professionalism was just amazing, like really. And thank you so much.
No, it is, like you said, from a coaching standpoint, I've done the work. I stand there as a supportive figure, but you're in the deep end. And I've seen photographers take pictures and it's like, stand there. Like they expect you to know what you're supposed to be doing. So to have that direction and to have someone just almost hold your hand in a figurative way, to be like, do this, I want you here, hold on a second, twist this way, 90, keep going. And I just think from my coaching standpoint, just being able to know that my client has not worked all this time for me to just say hasta la vista, best of luck, like I do really appreciate that one. Like.
Yeah, and just I remember seeing Kira's photographs because again she had the shoot done before me, and I remember thinking, oh my God, look at her, she looks amazing. And you were just saying to me, oh no, you'll be fine, honestly, wait till you meet Don, you'll be fine. And but your pictures blew me away, Kira, like they were so motivating and inspiring. And like, yeah, it just made me think, okay, all right, okay, let's do this. Yeah.
And I want to talk about, there's a stigma I work with women in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s, and I'm proud to say a 70-year-old woman. And you all share a very similar opinion. And I believe it is based on the fact of just the times we live in, the social media era, just the pressure for women in general to look a certain way, talk a certain way, be a certain age. And if you're a certain age, you can only do this. And I feel like the perception of what a woman is or what a woman is and what they can and can't do is almost boxed. And Kira, with yourself, who was a mother, who was also a grandmother.
I know.
Talk to me about what it's like being a mother and the lack of excuses you used. I know you mentioned about handling being a mother, being a grandmother, going to work, but that didn't stop you with the photo shoot.
No.
If you have any words to wisdom, even to cut you off, excuse me, if you have any words to wisdom of mothers who may think to themselves, actually, it's too late for me. Like it's my time has gone now. Like you never had that mindset. And what would you say to someone who's in a mindset of actually, oh, I'm a mother, that's behind me now?
It is never too late. I did not start training in the gym like until maybe 3 years ago. I was in my 30s. And there's definitely like a stigma around, you know, like as a mom doing a photo shoot and as a grandmother as well, like, you know, it's, and my photos were, you know, I had my Calvin Klein bikini, you know, there was all that in it as well.
Yeah, there was.
but I rocked it, like, do you know, I rocked it, like,
Yeah,
and I'm so grateful that I did do it. Having 2 kids as well, you know, even around the stomach area, it's harder to kind of get that really more toned look. And I did get there. Like, you know, and I'm so proud. I'm so proud that I did it. But I had a certain set of determination that nothing was going to stop me. Absolutely nothing was going to stop me. Like, and I previously shared with you, like, you know, the start of the year was very rocky. Very rocky. There was, and it was nearly, that was my kind of driver to keep me, set a goal for myself so my mind could be occupied. And it was absolutely the best thing I could have ever done. And even my daughter, she's like, Mom, look at your figure, look at your glutes. She was like, all my friends. I was like, huh. So it's great. I'm proud of who I am today. I'm so proud of who I am today. Mother, grandmother, I'm Kira. And if I had any advice, I would say go for it, and it's never too late.
I love it. And then 18, same question in a different lane. You've often thrown me the age word,
Stop.
and I slap it back in your face because you don't talk the talk, you also walk the walk. But did it ever cross your mind from an age standpoint? Am I crazy? Did friends, did family members go, what are you doing? Like, you have one of the most successful photo shoots that I've ever had a privilege of standing beside, so of which I am very grateful, by the way. But to those who think it's too late, can you give me, from a mindset standpoint, or can you give advice to those? Because you are literally a walking definition of someone who says, fuck you, I'm going to do this. And I have done this and I have arrived. But did the age thing ever cross your mind from an outside source or from your own head? And what would you say to someone who may be thinking, oh, it's too late for me?
Regarding the age thing, I think maybe it was the age thing, maybe like that served as a huge motivation that I was like, right, yeah, like I'm going to do this no matter what. Like I don't. I'm young at heart, like, and my mind is very young, and it didn't, like, it really didn't stop me, I suppose. I'm not explaining this very well, but I just kept going anyways, no matter what. And I've been very lucky with my health so far as well. Thank God. My family, all my family are extremely sporty as well. And my father and my mother plays golf, my father, mad GA man. Yeah, so like this, that sporting psychology way of thinking is there. And it's just like stubbornness as well. I think there might be a little bit of that there. But yeah, I'm not sure now, does that explain it? But
No, it does. It does, in fact. And the question the conversation you've had, and I know, Ciara, you've touched on this briefly, of, oh, you're becoming obsessed. And with your family, it's a lot of GAA.
Yeah.
And we've often talked about the black sheep being the same but different. And I want to know from Ciara your experience of getting those comments of like, oh, you're becoming obsessed. And I've explained to yourself both that not everyone can see the vision. You have an objective and you now know what needs to be done in order to succeed on those goals. And it just so happens that those goals are niche and not the wide audience of people are going to be able to understand those goals. So when you're getting comments such as, oh, you're becoming obsessed, but you're very focused in regards to a singular endpoint, like, how do you get over, from a mindset standpoint, how do you get over that and not let it breach your mental health?
That it was more, people were saying you're getting really thin and you've lost enough now. And I would look at them and I'd be like, I'm actually average. I'm not below my weight. I may be leaner. But I was finding myself like defending myself. And then I just had to just like not even say anything. And I would just say I'm really happy actually with the work I've done. I also, with the obsession kind of stuff, and people say, oh, you're dieting. I'm eating healthy. I'm just not, people would say, oh, like, I used to eat out a lot, and I've said that, and I wouldn't track my food or have any knowledge or anything like that. But it was just eating more healthy, like,
Isn't that crazy?
I know.
So when you start channeling positivity into yourself with food,
Yeah.
of which is
And I felt
not
better.
beige,
Yeah. Yeah.
that isn't slapped from a piece of plastic, people go, what are you doing?
Yeah.
And we've had conversations about thy staff room, of which comments come from a place that aren't malicious, but they kind of cut deep, and you start to better yourself, and you are aware of what you're eating from a nutritional standpoint. You are understanding, I need this much protein to support my body and my training. How does it feel to be the black sheep in a scenario where your goals don't align with the masses?
Yeah, that can be hard. And I did have the same experience as Kira with, um, um, like, you know, you're thin, you've gotten a lot very thin, you've this, and what do you mean you're not going to have this for dinner? And, um, maybe come home, but don't be bringing your own food home, because we'd be organized with our food. There was that, and that is a challenge for sure. But I knew I had my vision, and I just had to carry on regardless. And I suppose, like, I would have liked if there was that little bit more support in that area, I won't lie. But I just kept going with what my vision was. And, at the end of the day, it's my life, it's what I want to do. And I wasn't going to change because it didn't suit other people.
Yeah, I can't imagine this again, like as a lad, any comments bounce off me. And I think a lot of lads get a lot less pressure on them in regards to what they look like and how they eat and so on and so forth. But girls are tough on each other, I find, like very tough. And it's half of it is like, I want to see you do well, but not better than me.
Yeah.
And I find that mindset to be a bit scary as a man, because I don't get it. Like I'm not someone who's on the receiving end of it, at least that often. And like for yourself, Kira, who has done everything correctly, dieted in every day, sacrificed this, have done this for the greater good, and reap the rewards of a photo shoot prep. Like a genuine question, like how do you get over, like how do you let those comments bounce off you and understand that this is where I'm headed, and if you're not going with me, that's okay, but I'm still going this way?
I was getting defensive at the start when obviously I was cutting, and you could see, like, I was 71 kg and I cut down to what, 63 or 64. So at the start I was quite defensive, and then I overheard people saying she's getting very thin. Is that what did she say? I think she said, is that what she wants to be? And I was like, it is. Leave it at that. And I knew not a lot of people understood what I was doing. I was trying to get my body into a certain physique and lean, and it was, I didn't see you like this. And when people see somebody changing, they don't like it. And if people are coming from a negative mind space, they're going to come out with negative stuff. So I will also say there was a lot of positive. I had a lot of girls, maybe even in their 20s backing me. They were like, you're doing so good, you're amazing,
Can I ask you a question?
Yeah.
The girls that backed you,
Yeah.
are they in shape?
They're like models.
See, isn't that gas?
Yeah, they were like Instagram models.
It's almost like,
yeah, they're beautiful girls.
When you come from a standpoint of the average Joe and you begin to rise, those who you leave behind drag you back down.
Yeah.
And it is those who have ascended and those who have walked that walk back you and start clapping.
Yeah. And it wasn't anyone in the gym, of course, like, because everyone was like, you're doing great.
Yeah.
I remember one of the lads that was in there, he was like, I've seen you come in here and you've been so tired, still go up in that Stairmaster. And I was like what you shared earlier on, I was like, I am not giving up on myself. I don't do that. I haven't done that up to today. So it's not going to happen, and especially not with something so precious. It was very precious to me, and it wasn't about the destination, it was about the actual journey.
Oh, I love that.
I know.
The man who loves walking will walk further than the man who loves the destination.
Yeah.
And Aideen, just to relay that question back onto you, when you begin to climb and ascend in regards to your physique, in regards to your nutrition, in regards to your training and recovery and everything, and you may or may not get comments from family members, staff members, and you kind of just go, why don't you clap for me? And like I said, when you are on a common layer, everyone claps. But when you start to leave people, they kind of go, oh, hold on. They want to see you do well, but not better than them. And for those who are in good shape, or not even physically, to those who've walked the walk, who understand what discipline is, and those people start clapping for you. And the people that you thought, oh, I thought we were side by side, and all of a sudden they start to go like, oh, what do you mean you're not going to have the cookie? Why are you bringing your own meals around? And it's like, can you talk to me about the dealing with that from a mentality standpoint?
Yeah, that was quite a challenge, for sure. Because like the traditional, you go home and there's a lovely dinner at home. But I suppose I had to be strict. I had to be strong. minded myself, and like follow what I wanted for myself, and like there was support. It's not that there wasn't support. There was support, but maybe there just was a lack of understanding of like what I wanted to achieve, and like I don't know, I kept saying, no, keep going, you've come this far, and again I'd bounce it off yourself and get your feedback there. But it is no different to when you'd be training for, like, maybe put it like this, and I don't know how you'd feel about this, Ciara, but if it was a guy, now I might be going into controversial, getting a bit controversial, but if it was a guy that was looking, if I was a guy looking to achieve the same thing, I don't know, would there have been as much talk about it, or as much of a questions around it about me?
I will 100% back that up and say, lads clap for lads. Surprisingly, I was case by case, but on the majority of things you do, like if I wanted to be the best software engineer, people go, yeah, go for it. If I wanted to stop taking out cookies and I wanted to get on myself on a strict diet, lads would go, yeah, go for it. And that's the difference. Working with a lot of ladies, I find that it's like, you don't clap for each other. In a large, obviously you have those rocks in your life, and we protect those, and you need to keep those close. But it's, again, people want to see you do well, but not better than them. So I understand even what you said there about understanding. It's also a very niche thing to do, hopping in front of a camera, sacrificing the good foods and all the steps in the world for a photo. And the way I put it to people is, a photo shoot is, in some people's minds, is vain. Oh, you're going to hop in a camera and get it off your kit and get into fitness gear and, do it for yourself. And the way I put it to you is, in 18, you've won medals in marathons, Ironmans, and you train, you do an event, and you are rewarded with a piece of silverware. But to those who push themselves in the gym, they don't get anything. You just show up. And the photo shoot represents the silverware in my eyes. It is the medal at the end of the race. And it's for those, and it's the pictures you get that don't need to be flaunted on social media just because. Those are there for you. And that you can show your kids and your family members and say, hey, look, I have arrived. I have received my medal, and it is in the form of a 1x1 picture where I'm looking fucking sick. But how do you feel about that in regards to the medal at the end of the race, Ciara?
So the photos, like, are amazing, do you know, and I'm so grateful to have them. It's also about me placing that goal, right? Let's say, how long, 4 months later, and actually achieving that goal. Especially with something that was so hard, so strict. So, like, I needed so much determination. There was so many events that were coming up. I didn't go to them because we might be going for food first, or, there was a lot of sacrifices. So it was me nearly telling myself, and them photos, looking at them, is like, you are good enough. Like, you can do this. The next time you hear the voice saying you can't do this, like, it's, the evidence is here, you can. So yeah, having that is like having the little medal. And I definitely agree with you with the vain stuff. You know me on a personal level. I'm not vain.
No.
I'm the opposite. And I remember John as well, like when I was doing it, I was very uncomfortable at the start, and then just something switched. I was like, come here. So
I have arrived.
Yeah. So, like, people who wouldn't know about what it takes to get there would be like, oh, she's just mad about herself, and she'll, no.
And it's
true.
the complete
It's the
opposite. Like,
Yeah.
it just represents the journey.
Represents the journey. Now, I'm not sitting here saying that I don't have this self-love and all that kind of stuff. I'm not saying that. But when it comes to stepping inside in front of a camera. It's a different feeling, like, and having that, and it's up on my social media.
And dead right, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, you absolutely can, but that's not why.
Yeah, no, it's not, and it's just to show maybe someone else who feels that, oh God, that's way out of my league, or maybe a mom, or if there's stuff going on even mentally, like, you can do it.
It's like a why not?
Why not?
It says who, like.
Yeah.
And you put up that picture and you were nervous no one would like it.
I
And
was like, help
all
me
of
write
a
this
sudden-
thing. And then the personal stuff come into it a little bit, like, and I don't mind sharing that stuff. And I shared that attached to the photos as well. And it was, oh my God, it was like the feedback was, it was beautiful.
And I'll end with this, Aideen. We have been on and continue to go on a journey, me and you, of trust, respect, discipline, and hard fucking work. But from phase 1 to where we sit today, what's changed from 18?
Ooh, that's a tough question.
I set them up. I said the best to last there now, yeah.
What's changed? Well, I have a lot more knowledge now about the whole gym and my body and my, like, the, how I can push myself and how I can achieve results. And what else has changed? Like, when I look at those pictures actually of the photo shoot, like, I see like tremendous hard work, and I'm so proud of those pictures. Like, I'm not on social media. I'm not on any of those accounts or anything. But for me, so I don't have anywhere to put them, but they're up here and in here, and always will be. And I'm so proud of them. What has changed? Just again, like, I achieved something for me. I faced the fear. I know more now about the gym, and there's so much more I want to learn, and there's so much more I would like to do, and I'm looking forward to it.
And Ciara, a very similar question indeed. We have been on a wild ride, me and you. Giggles.
Yeah.
Shenanigans.
Yeah.
Deep conversations. Borderline tears. What has changed over the duration from Ciara on day 1 and Ciara who sits before us today?
Wow. Again, I was definitely like a different person. I was definitely a different person. I remember it was in February I started with you, like, bit anxious of, like, starting to track and starting to go to another level, we'll say. And today it's just like second nature. I feel a lot more confident. Like, I can really walk into the gym and be like, right, I know what I'm hitting today. And that positive, I suppose, feeling that I can set a goal for myself and actually achieve it. And again, looking forward to doing something else, like, and I will, like, because the evidence is there, like, and that's thanks to you, and I mean that from my heart. Like, it's thanks to you. You gave me so much, like, along with the giggles, the deep talks and the tears. Like, I had tears,
plenty of tears.
I remember,
you too.
like, I remember crying, and there was this and there was that, and then, like, there was other things that were going on, and you were just like a safe person as well. Yeah, you were a safe person as well.
I fully concur, for sure.
And you were a great help too, Aideen. You're such a good help. Ciara, you're like confetti when you come into the gym.
Yeah. Every time Ciara walks into the gym, it's like confetti goes off everywhere. Yeah. But Ciara said there about when you enter the gym and she knows what she's doing. I remember when I started working with you first, we were 2 weeks in, and it was the middle of the July, and you had your holidays booked. And I remember messaging you to say, oh my God, I'm after doing my first session in the gym by myself. And you weren't holding my hand. It was a massive, big deal. And you asked me about how have I grown. Well, I'm now in the gym, able to do these things myself, progress a little bit when I feel, oh, okay, I didn't hit, it wasn't 10 out of 10. It was maybe the 8 out of the 10, the 7 out of the 10. I can go a little bit here, you know, so I've learned all of that. And, you know, that's absolutely thanks to you. And Gurmila Mahad. Yeah.
Off Orchard Road. Well, ladies, you are the definition of a visionary. And like I said at the very beginning, I just want to say thank you to the two of you for bringing the best out of me, because again, you're only as good as the client in front of you actually is, you know, and it's not a case of remembering to check in or the measurements. It's the people who you are, the highs, the lows, the peaks and valleys, and the people who continually show up both for me and for your own self. So from the bottom of my heart, genuinely, it is a privilege and will continue to be a honor to step alongside two beautiful women. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, Chris.
So much.
Yeah. Gurmila Mahad.